most of the youth activities in our church are planned and led by us, we do have some very great adults for guidance. You would be glad to know that we had some help with the desserts in order to spare you some potential peanut cake they need tonight. Our thanks go to Brother and Sister Shield for their team and for the refreshments this evening. By way of background, each week, all the students you see here tonight meet every Sunday morning for worship services, every Wednesday night for a youth activity, and every school morning around 5:30 in the morning for 40 minutes of Bible and Scripture study. One of the things we refer to is often contained in this booklet entitled For the Strength of Youth that contains some basic values by which we strive to live every day. One of those values is the value of gratitude. In an effort to better live that value, we wanted to sincerely express our gratitude to you, our teachers, who have made a significant difference in our lives. So all of us were given the opportunity to nominate just one teacher each, who we felt has made a significant impression in our lives in some way. You are here because the student sitting next to you who thinks you are pretty great. Author and poet Helen Lowry Marshall wrote, "You never know when someone might catch a dream for you. You never know when a little word or something you may do may open up the window of the mind that seeks the light. The way you live may not matter at all, but you never know, it might. And just in case it could be that another's life through you might possibly change for the better with a broader and brighter view. It seems it might be worth a try at pointing the way to the right. Of course, it might not matter at all, but then again, it might." We would now like to honor each of you teachers with a special tribute from one of the students, past or present, as well as a gift. We would like to give you a special book entitled Standing for Something by Gordon B. Hinckley, the late president of our church. This book talks about the values that we all strive to live up to, which each of you have helped to instill in so many of us. The book is accompanied by the appreciation note from the student who nominated you. We are grateful for your efforts. We hope you enjoy the gift. We hope you treasure the note. Our first presenter is Brigham Olson.
If I could have Fran Felder, Chandler Wilden, Charlie Wilden, and Noble Smith join me in the front, please. We will begin with teachers from Trinity High School. We would ask that each teacher stand when being recognized, and after reading a tribute, the student who recognized them will present them with their special gift. Mrs. New, nominated by Fran Felder. Mrs. New, Fran said of Mrs. New, "Mrs. New taught me morals, life lessons, and how to color outside the lines. She continued to smile every morning despite the frustration she might have felt controlling a disorderly group of kids. When I experienced hardship, she was more than understanding and sympathetic. Mrs. New was there for me and still stands behind me in case I need help getting back up. HEB District as a whole has a great teaching staff, and I'd like to thank all of them, like Mrs. New, who have shaped our character, so thank you." Mrs. Blue, nominated by Chandler Wilden. Chandler said of Mrs. Bloom, "Madame Bloom is a ball of energy and a great teacher to have for first period. She has a great method of teaching, and her love for the French language inspires me to work hard. Mrs. Blue's greatest quality is her storytelling skills. She teaches through her stories, and she makes learning interesting." Mr. Crozier, nominated by Saloni Bakamuta. Unfortunately, Mr. Crozier is not attending tonight because he is hosting a junior high choir rehearsal. Saloni said of Mr. Crozier is different from other teachers because he shows compassion and love for music to others and doesn't give up on anyone. I have learned that giving up on something you love isn't going to help you achieve your dreams. Thank you for your hard work, your music skills, and teaching and encouraging us to keep going. Mr. Dean, nominated by Colleyville. Shelley said of Mr. Dean will always be a teacher who makes a lasting impact on his students. Since music is my chosen profession, I'm very lucky to have a choir director like Mr. Dean. He has so much passion for music, and he wants to impart some of that passion to his students. He has a great sense of humor, and he truly relates to our generation. Mr. Dean's greatest quality is that he doesn't settle for just having an adequate choir, but that he helps us strive for excellence, and he lends us the confidence to do so. Senorita Flores, nominated by Noble Smith. Noble Smith said of Senorita Flores always stayed after school, so my Spanish grade could be passing. This teacher's example has taught me that we all need to understand not everyone is going to learn something the first time it is taught. Senorita Flores is really a good teacher to have and treats her students with so much respect, even if none is given back to her. You really taught me a lot. Gracias. Now we will hear from Rebecca Batchelor, who will continue with the teachers from Trinity High School.
If I could have Claire Smith, Paisley Stevens, Wendy Walton, Kayo Vainiku, and Reed Vainiku join me. Before continuing with the great Trinity High School, I would like to read the motto of Trinity High School. Responsibility, pride, determination make Trinity different. These are all great attributes to strive for teaching with responsibility. One gains a better understanding what they are capable of and becomes dependable. Pride or satisfaction in oneself allows for someone to have greater self-esteem and thereby helps us to reach higher. Determination is considered by some of the greatest minds as the sole reason they were able to pull ahead of the peers. Harry S. Truman said, "America was not built on fear. America was built on courage, on imagination, and an unbeatable determination to do the job at hand." And now some more of our distinguished guests tonight. J.W. Green, nominated by Claire Smith. Claire said of Mr. Green, "Thanks to Mr. Green, history is my favorite class ever. Learning through slideshows and movies is the best way for me to learn and help me enjoy my first year of high school. He also was there for me when I needed someone or just wanted to sit and talk. His grading scale is very generous and helps me to keep up in the class. He is a great teacher and my teacher of the year." Mr. Graham is nominated by Paisley Stevens. Paisley said of Mr. Graham, "If there is one word I would use to describe Mr. Graham, it would be peculiar." My dad once called me peculiar, and I was confused about what he meant. But then he told me that it was the greatest compliment that you could give someone. Mr. Graham has taught me to seize every chance that I have and to achieve something in the minutes that I leave empty every day. His example has inspired me to express myself and hopefully the lives of future others. said of Mr. Kamen, Mr. Kamen is an amazing teacher, and I really enjoyed being in his class this year. He always seems to go out of his way to make sure the rest of the students and I are able to learn and have a good time. His class was overall the best class I've ever been in. I've never been the smartest one in the class, but he helped me understand all the things we were learning, so I was able to achieve and do really well. All the knowledge that I obtained in his class will help me in other science classes in the future and throughout the rest of my life. Miss Longi, nominated by K.O. Bainu. K.O. said of Miss Longi, I nominated Miss Longi because she is different from the other teachers. When she teaches, she helps transform me to the areas that we are reading, and she makes it very interesting. Anyone would be lucky to have her as a teacher. The thing I will never forget about her is the big smile that she has on her face every day. Mrs. Lowe, nominated by Reed Vine. Reed said of Mrs. Lowe, not only is she a teacher, but she is also a friend. She knows how to make us feel like we would hang out with her, yet at the same time can take control. I appreciate her work, and I am thankful for the opportunity to be her student. Shelly Golden will continue presenting great teachers of Trinity High School.
If I could have Sione Walkie, Tori Keith, Mary Allen, and Taylor and Johnny Slack join me in the front, please. Mr. Mormon, nominated by Sione Walkie. Sione said of Mr. Warman, I nominated Mr. Warman because he is the one person who helps me a lot. He is my favorite person. He sets a good example to the band students because he can get the band students' attention to direct the band and teaches them how to be better musicians. Mr. Wells, nominated by Tori Keith. Tori said of Mr. Wells, Mr. Wells is different because he always has a smile on his face. He makes his lessons simple and easy to understand. He has taught me that a positive attitude makes for a positive environment. I hope that when I grow up, I can always have a positive attitude so that no matter what I do in life, there will always be a positive environment I can. Mrs. Hanson, nominated by Mary Allen. This is a teacher from Colleyville Heritage High School. Mary said of Mrs. Hanson, Mrs. Hanson is a nice teacher. She makes sure I'm done with my assignments before we move on with teaching, and she tries to make sure the class understands what we are learning. She also has a great sense of humor. I'm so excited to have her in my junior and senior years. ISD School District, we have a teacher from Colleyville High School. Colleyville was established in 1957 and named after Larry Bell, founder of Bell Helicopter. Their mission statement stresses the importance of providing the students with the opportunity to achieve their most lofty goals. Mrs. Magana, nominated by Calvin Docker. know many people at school, and it was difficult to meet new friends. Mrs. Magana is a very friendly and open person, and she would share her opinion with us, which gave us greater confidence to share our own thoughts on various topics. I liked her class because I could be myself and get to know other people. By a brother and a sister. Mrs. Carter, nominated by Taylor and Johnny Slack. She'll be here shortly. Taylor and Johnny's and Mrs. Carter. She stands out from all my other teachers in so many ways. Her patience with her students is rare, as well as the way she can teach them. Mrs. Carter is the best. She's an amazing teacher. Number which we would like to perform to you. The song is called Because I Haven't Given Much. So everyone can love Page 219.
Rebecca Bradshaw, Brianna Einstein, Sini Vimahi, and Dr. Lonnie join me in front of you. We now move on to our junior high teachers, starting with Central Junior High. Ms. Anderson, nominated by Sierra Isnoon. Sierra said of Ms. Anderson, Ms. Anderson was always the sunny part of my day at junior high. I learned a lot in her class. Ms. Anderson is always kind and compassionate to people and very supportive. She is a wonderful teacher and an example to everyone she teaches, and is one of the teachers that students return to visit years after they have finished their class. Ms. Cole, nominated by Rebecca Bradshaw. Rebecca said of Ms. Cole has truly been a role model for me because I want to be a music teacher myself. She's a wonderful person. She always had a positive, cheerful attitude about life, and was a comic relief in my day. Ms. Cole is an amazing person, teacher, director, and role model, and I hope someday to be able to teach music as well as she does. Coach Orbo, nominated by Brianna Einstein. Unfortunately, Coach Orbo from Central Junior High wasn't able to come tonight. But Brianna said of Coach Orbo has always been my favorite coach. She is easy to talk to, and because she was my coach through junior high, when I see her at our high school meets, she inspired me to do better. She was pure-hearted and kind, and I would love to be like her someday. From Central Junior High, we go to U.S. Junior High, home of the Stallions. Coach Beasley, nominated by Sini Vimahi. Sini said of Coach Beasley is an amazing coach. She's taught me to believe in myself, and that if I push myself, I can do it. I want to be just like her when I grow up. She's inspired me a whole lot. Thank you, Coach Beasley. Nominated by Dr. Lonnie. Dr. Lonnie. Inoki said of Coach Petridis, I learned to enjoy life, but you also have to take care of your responsibilities. Work first, fun last. He just has a great attitude toward everything. He's a good coach. He encourages a whole bunch on and off the field, and he encourages me to get better and to work as hard as I can. Tommy Mahi will continue presenting our amazing teachers.
If I could have Moana Pupita, Princeton Manuku, Brigham Olsen, and Junior Naliaki join me in this round, please. Coach Reynolds, nominated by Moana Pupita. Instead of Coach Reynolds. Coach Reynolds is just one of the best coaches I've ever had. She may be hard on me, but it's to make me a better player. She's taught me to never give up on anything and to push myself. I can honestly say she's my favorite teacher. Miss Russell, nominated by Kristen Manuku. Preston said of Miss Russell, the reason I selected Miss Russell is because when I had a question, she didn't hesitate to help, and sometimes she made things better. I'd like to thank her for her help and would like to pay her back with this little speech and let her know that I appreciate her hard work. ISD junior high schools, I will now recognize the teachers from Harwood Junior High. Mrs. Alice, nominated by Brigham Olsen. Brigham said of Mrs. Alice, Mrs. Alice is the kind of teacher that's fun, energetic, and creative. She can lift anyone's spirits. Something I learned from her is to make the things I have to do fun. Mrs. Ingraham didn't only teach me how to read and write, she taught me how to become a better person, how to act in public, and taught me many lessons that make me the man I am today. She really made a big impact on how I live my life today.
If I could have Logan Heaton, Josiah Philberg, and Hannah Wooler join me in the front, please. I will now present our teachers that helped start the educational process of the young minds of the HEB School District. These are, of course, of our elementary school teachers, starting with Lakewood Elementary. Mrs. Holt, nominated by Haley Bond. Unfortunately, Ms. Holt was unable to come tonight, but she said, I love Haley and I wish I could be there. Haley said to Miss Holt, Miss Holt let me know that she cared because she took the time to really learn about me and my family. Miss Holt was my first music teacher that taught me how to read music on my own. Because of Miss Holt, I still have a love of music. Thank you for everything. I will now introduce our Meadow Creek Elementary teacher who has been nominated. Mr. Easley, nominated by Logan Peter. Logan said of Mr. Easley, Mr. Easley is one of the best teachers I've ever had. He was pretty much the first and only teacher who can make the classroom type of learning fun for me. I remember once that all the class got A's on a math test, so he did a cartwheel across the whole room. Our final school will be Spring Garden Elementary. Miss Davis, nominated by Josiah Hilbert. Josiah said, this teacher has greatly influenced my life positively through example. She encouraged me to enjoy reading. She let us talk and she shared touching stories and experiences she had to make us better people. Mrs. Holbrook, nominated by Hannah Ward. Hannah said of Miss Holbrook, Miss Holbrook truly changed my life. 3rd grade was my all-time favorite year. She taught me that you always can be better. I said Miss Holbrook pushed me to be better. She pushed me to be friendlier and built my self-esteem. I'm truly grateful for Miss Holbrook and appreciate her and all she did to impact my life for the positive.
Thank you again for joining us this evening. We hope you have a greater sense of just how important you are in your students' lives. You have motivated, inspired, and it helped many. Those long hours of preparation, coming in before school starts, leaving long after it is to help us, and maybe even some of those little gray hairs you acquired along the way have all been worth it. We'll now close the benediction given by Fran Felberg, a sophomore at Trinity.